Hello everyone and welcome, I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Daredevil Born Again. This was an incredible episode. If you have not seen it, please pause this video, watch it, and then we can, join in. The big thing here was this episode starts off with what we assume is Matt Murdock going into prison. However, it turns out he's talking to his client, the White Tiger. What we find out here is that apparently nobody called the cops on him. He did take out the cops, however, he did not kill any of them. When they were in the courtroom, or sorry, in the courthouse, I should say, Matt Murdock goes into the bathroom to kind of get himself ready before going into the court. The partner of the cop that got killed, or I should say died, went in and threatened Matt, and Matt was like, "Here's the thing, man." He goes, "I really don't care what you're gonna do." It was more the fact of just making a point of stating like he was threatening Matt to arrest him, and Matt was like, "Go right ahead, and I'll tell him exactly what happened, and we'll see if you just get a slap in the wrist." But he goes, "I sincerely doubt that will be the case." So because of that, they had a little bit of an argument, everything else, but it didn't go anywhere further. In the courtroom, though, Matt questions the witness, aka the partner of the cop who is now deceased. They begin to talk and everything else. Matt's basically trying to get the whole story in. He gets the cop to tell him that it was only him and his partner that were in the entirety of the, what's it called? I guess it's the subway station. And Matt wanted to make it very clear, like over and over again, asking him the same question in a very different way each time, and the cop was very consistent. Although there was a small pause, specifically around talking about the potential of having a CI there, but he never actually disclosed anything. So while that's going on, Matt's getting his um, witness, star witness, let's be honest, ready. They're getting ready to bring him to the courthouse. It's the former police officer, and I'm assuming it's a new bodyguard. I'm not quite sure who he is. The three of them leave the safe house after, of course, they had given him a little bit of coke to kind of get himself prepared mentally because, he was going down hard. He gets all dressed up, and they all take off in what we assume is the van. So that's when the cops try to stop this massive van from happening, which is being driven by the former police officer. However, it was a decoy to begin with. When they open it up, there's nobody in it, and the star witness makes it by a cab into the courthouse. Matt Murdock attempts to question him. He goes out and on. However, when it came down to the question of him being a CI, it turned out to be the witness decided to go against Matt Murdock and the team. So he had stated that there was no, he was not at all a CI for them or anything like that. So, and he wasn't meeting them there, he was at home all night. So Matt was really pissed off about that. They tried to figure out a new way, a new strategy to get around this. So Matt tries the only other thing you could think of, which is using the vigilantiness of it all. So he basically proves to everyone that his client is the White Tiger. And, there's a delay of court, they have to go into chambers. Basically, Matt is trying to defend his action because, he's claiming that his star witness was tampered with, but can't prove it, so he had to do this. So the rest of the trial, granted, the White Tiger isn't happy to be outed by everyone. However, when they're starting to talk about this as well, um, we have, my apologies. So we have the White Tiger finally outed for being the vigilante. During all of that, we then have Matt and his, I guess you would say, partner. The two of them are going into detail of all of the, how do I phrase this? All of the times that the White Tiger has done good. So the idea is trying to go into detail not only just from civilians, but also from the cops themselves, proving that this guy couldn't be as bad as they say he was. Then we have the prosecution basically trying to state that the cop had a slow and painful death, and he was squished to death basically, and unfortunately was still alive until the train stopped. So we have all that going on, and it turns out they get into the court hearing and everything else. A decision had been made, and it turned out to be in the favor of White Tiger, and he was found not guilty from all his charges. Um, Matt celebrates with his psychiatrist or psychologist girlfriend, and the White Tiger is a free man. So, I'm not going to talk about the very end yet, because we have to talk about the other elephant in the room, which was Fisk and Vanessa. So we find out one of the biggest issues that they had together was Fisk doesn't want Vanessa to be in part of the dark underground anymore. And Vanessa is not having any of it. She wants this, doesn't want it to fall apart. During the episode, we see the infighting in between some of the leaders of the area. And that's when Fisk is like, "Well, we're not having this. We're going to be making sure that the police really deal with this as much as they can." So Vanessa goes behind Fisk's back and orders Adam, who apparently is um, her ex-lover, to get them to come to an agreement. So she orders him, although we assume it was Fisk, but he's ordered to go down there and tells everyone about the reparations, which is huge here. So the big thing here is the retribution, I should say, in the sense of making sure that they pay for the crime. Well, not so much the crimes that they committed, but the damages that were done. So the guy who has to pay it is like, this is BS. I'm not going to listen to some Fisk flunky. And that's when the guy turns around and goes, no, no, no. I'm not the mayor's flunky. He goes, I am the man's flunky. And he walks away. That's when we find out that Fisk doesn't like the idea that she's still talking to this guy, Adam. However, we are assuming that they were once lovers. Um, During all of that as well, they're in therapy and everything else, and it's getting to the point where he's telling Vanessa he doesn't trust her, and Vanessa's just like, I can't believe you would even say such a thing, basically. And she doesn't want the whole thing to fall apart, the thing that she built. But just because he doesn't want to be a part of it anymore, she all of a sudden has to not be a part of it as well, which is what her problem is. And all of that's going on right there. So then he's watching the trial overall. He finds out that the White Tiger has been found not guilty. He asks the BB News girl to come in our social media star to come in, and he tells his side of the story in the sense of that vigilantes are the problem and they need to be taken out. While that speech is going on, we have the White Tiger out in New York running to go save somebody. He gets shot in the head by who we assume is a random stranger, until they walk into the light and show that they have the symbol of the Punisher. Now, that's how the episode ends. However, I do not think it is actually the Punisher. I think it's one of the cops, because we see a lot of this with a lot of the cops having the symbol of the Punisher with them. So I would not be surprised if one of the cops is trying to be the Punisher, which will then lead the real Punisher to come out to be like, no, nobody's like me. I'm the only me. So that's what I'm thinking right now. But we'll have to wait to, excuse me, we'll have to wait and see to know for sure. But the White Tiger is officially dead in the show, which means the mantle will have to be passed down. It will most likely be his niece, like it was in the comics, but his niece is kind of young. So I'll be interested to see how they do that, if they even do that at all at this time. So overall, yeah, it's just an interesting thing that they kill off the White Tiger almost immediately, and the person to be blamed is going to be the Punisher, whether it is him or not. I'm stating right now that I don't think it's him. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments down below. This wasn't action-packed necessarily, but this was definitely what we expect from Daredevil in the sense of a, well, law drama. So let me know what you guys thought about. Like I said, let me know in the comments whether you liked it or did not like it and why. And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.